Welcome, Fáilte, from the historic Rathfarnham Castle in Dublin. My name is Cormac Breatnach. This is my story, not my brother Oscar's story, but my brother's story is my story. You see, from the age of 13, my world was filled with sounds and images of trains and tracks, sirens and clocks. Time raced and time stood still. Music flowed from and through loss and longing. It always did, and it always will. I want to share with you 6 compositions as interpreted with Daire and Martin. Each piece has a direct connection to my narrative and events experienced during those formative years and are dedicated to my family. You'll find a lot more information on my dedicated website, The Whistleblower, that's all one word, .ie. But first, to set the scene, I want to share with you a short piece of film. We all have a story to tell, and of course this is my story, a part of my story. I was born into an Irish, Spanish-speaking household. My mother spoke Castilian to us, and my father spoke Irish. They were the unspoken rules of the house. Unspoken rules of the house. I learned English outside. Shortly after my brother was arrested in, I think it was the day after the train robbery on the 1st of April 1976, he was taken to the Bridewell Garda station. He was interrogated, as I said, in the dungeon of Bridewell. I became quite withdrawn, I think, at that time, and how it affected me, because obviously the news was being splashed around, and I became, I think, a bit withdrawn. I was quite angry. I was quite angry against authority, and my belief in justice was certainly greatly affected too.
The old stories of who we are, of the brave deeds that almost freed Ireland, of the struggle for what was right on this holy isle, and what we do to ourselves and our men. They say love of one's country is a terrible thing to hear told.
I certainly could see more injustice than justice at that time. I remember going to school then after the conviction the next day and being told by the head brother, basically, well, you mess around with politics, you have to suffer. So that I took as a marker, I suppose, or as a sounding that everyone thought he was guilty. In primary school, I loved it. I was probably one of the best pupils in the class, or I thought I was. The teacher in 5th class made me stand up and read my stories out, so I had great confidence at that stage. I remember being the best at chess. I remember being a good artist. I remember playing music. I was quite popular. I can remember the shift between sleeping well and not sleeping well. Years later, I was diagnosed as suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. I remember my mother taping me when I was doing my homework, and I used to make all these kind of noises and facial grimaces, which are much worse than what I do now. Not only did we grow up trilingual, we grew up with a history, I have an understanding of international politics. My father and my mother would have met a lot of the leaders who arose out of the late 40s, early 50s. They moved to Tangiers in North Africa. They were both interested in international politics, clearly because of coming out of the Second World War, and in North Africa the situation politically was changing also. There would be I can recall very many debates at the dinner table. I could see megaphones, posters. I went to the trial, obviously, in as much as I could. When I was at school, I had taken time off. But particularly in the last 2 weeks in Christmas 1978, I went to the trial. I think that might have been on the sentencing day. And so anyway, when the sentence was handed down, there was uproar in the court. I remember Professor Miriam Daly, who taught in Queen's University of Belfast. She was involved in the party also. I remember her saying, "Shame, shame." And the judge ordered that the court be cleared. While going down the stairs, a couple of people were kicked by the cops. I remember one woman was kicked in her private parts. I remember that. That particular court did not take kindly to people attending the trial. And anyone who did, including journalists, etc., they went pretty much through everything. So I remember going out onto the street.
And we waited. We waited for the van to come around the corner with my brother in it. Which was the last time I'd probably see him. So I remember trying to form a barrier. And I turned around, I saw my mother exploding with emotion, crying in a car. So I couldn't take it anymore. It's taken me this long to even face the need for me to tell my story. One thing I grew up learning was the power of the pen, because my father was a journalist and a writer. The power of the pen is huge. I love organising things. Whether it's a campaign or whether it's a concert, for me it's the same. I just get a kick out of that. And that's probably because of my upbringing in campaigning. So they're the things I love doing. Apart from playing music, I love arranging music. I love trying to do something new. So whereas my brothers and my family were maybe trying to do something new politically, I try to do it through music.
lamppost and stopped. I looked out through the side window. That's the space between the two tracks. There were three men running towards the
That was on board the Cork and Dublin travelling post office train while Justice sleeps. The train's linked carriages symbolise for me the different but connected organs of government. The train's momentum serves as a metaphor for the intent of the government and the judiciary to convict. The next track we're about to play is called Lost Whistle, which is a metaphor for lost innocence. As I became taciturn, one means of expression was lost, but another flourished when I found solace in music.
Now we're going to play Oran na Mana, Fiddle, the title of which was inspired by the late Liam O'Wirle, and it translates as the Song of the Flourishing Woman, and this musical track is divided into two separate but linked melodies. The first, Oran na Mana, is a contemplative air which reflects on the resilience of the women in my family, who all tried to maintain a sense of normality in the home, whilst at the same time contributing to the ongoing public campaign to release the accused. Fiddle is an upbeat but defiant melody signifying how inner strength and resilience can overcome adversity.
Thank you.
Before I tell you about the next composition, I wish to pay homage to Daire and Martin, who are, in my opinion, two of our finer younger musicians, who not only shared their enthusiasm for this project, but who embraced it and took ownership of it. The direction my compositions took would have suffered were it not for their involvement. I'm indebted to them for providing the necessary oxygen. Once again, I invite you to look at my website, thewhistleblower.ie, to find answers to some questions you may have. A big thank you to all the crew here today. Special thanks to Catherine O'Connor, and of course to the OPW for making all of this possible. That brings us to the concluding composition, the beginning and the end, Aftermath. This melody aims to symbolize wisdom, maturity, and perhaps contentment. O'Hara, Martin and myself, are muochas live. Thank you for listening, watching, and bearing witness.